As the union reps left the room, Geronimo lingered for a moment, staring at the closed door. The gravity of the situation now pressed in his mind. He had always known that being a union steward wasn't easy and a thankless job, but this was beyond anything he had imagined when he took on the role. Outside, the factory roared with the usual sounds of industry. Forklifts hummed, cranes clanked, and the grinding of metal against metal filled the air. But to Geronimo, everything felt quieter, as if the world had dimmed around him. He took a deep breath and walked out of the conference room, passing Lisa with a nod. The fluorescent lights buzzed overhead as he made his way back through the maze of empty cubicles, each one a reminder of how remote work had taken over much of the factory's administrative side. For the people still on the shop floor, there was no remote work. They were the last line, the ones who kept the machines running day in and day out. As he entered the locker room, the familiar voices of his fellow workers' conversations greeted him. The air was thick with the scent of sweat and metal, a tangible representation of hard labor. Inside, a group of workers were clustered around one of the benches, mid-conversation, and their topic, like so many lately, was the uncertain future of their jobs. Phil, a thin but strong-statured man in his early 30s with a permanent scowl etched into his features, slammed his locker shut with a bang. "I'm done, bro," he muttered, frustration pouring out of every word. "Ain't no future in this industry no more. You see what's coming. Robots, automation, artificial intelligence. We're getting replaced, man. This strike, it ain't gonna change shit." Across the bench from him, Davis, an older worker who looked like he had been through more contracts and strikes than anyone cared to count, rubbed his face with exhaustion. "I hear you," he said, his voice gravelly, from years of shouting over machines. "But what you gonna do about it? I've been here over 25 years. My pension is on the line, and I don't even know if Social Security's gonna be around by the time I retire." The conversation paused, each man's words hanging heavy in the air. Wells, a broad-shouldered worker in his 40s, stood with his arms crossed, his expression thoughtful. "That's the problem right there," he said, his voice low but commanding. "You talk like you're powerless. You gotta learn this shit, Davis. All of us do. If we don't, we're screwed." Phil shook his head in disbelief. "Learn what? You can't fight automation." Wells' eyes flashed with determination. "I'm not saying we stop it, but we've got to learn how to work with it. These robots and machines aren't going away. They're the future. If we don't adapt, we'll get left behind. And our kids, they'll be worse off than we ever were." Davis chuckled bitterly. "You talk like learning all this new shit is easy. I don't got time to go back to school, and I sure as hell don't got the money." Wells leaned in, his voice steady. "Tomorrow's coming, whether you like it or not. It ain't about your age, Davis. You're gonna have to face this new world just like the rest of us." Wells continued. "Hell, you old motherfuckers are worse than the children. You got a phone in your hand, a tablet, a computer at home, Wi-Fi, and what do you do with it? Dance, watch funny videos, TikTok, and shit, dancing all the fucking time. Have you taken a class online, learned programming, coding, watched a documentary, learned something new about life? No, you just sit around belly aching, wanting somebody to save you. Ain't nobody coming to save you. Get off your ass and learn something for yourself. You don't need permission to learn." Geronimo, who had been standing near the back of the room, listening quietly, felt the truth of Wells' words hit him like a hammer. He had thought the same thing, more than once. The world was changing, and the steel industry, an industry his father had worked in his entire life, was on the brink of something entirely different. The machines that once needed skilled workers were being replaced by ones that didn't need anyone at all. The thought gnawed at him, but he pushed it aside for the moment. He had more pressing issues to deal with.